Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. So we're here again for part 2 of Vlogwarts. Not exactly the part 2 I was expecting, but one I think I need to make just in case there's a few changes in the future. So I've recently received a new supply of bulk bricks, my penny bricks. They've all arrived now and I've been able to add a significant amount to the superstructure of our Hogwarts. Still haven't started any new modules yet. So let's have a look at our progress so far. So we'll start our little tour looking at the Great Hall. Not a huge amount of change here. I've experimented with some banners, made a few alterations to the beams at the front. There were some Technic bricks in there, I just swapped those out for plain bricks. Hufflepuff, for the sense of completeness, is still exactly as it was, as is the hospital wing and Gryffindor common room. Did take away that slopey roof and I'm trying out now a flying buttress type design. Again, still easily removable, it's just pure decoration. I thought it looked a bit more castle-y, probably a bit more cathedral-like than castle-like, but something I wanted to try out. Replace this wall at the back with just tan brick. Don't know why, I had a little panic and thought you'd be able to see it, so I replaced it. That circular window that was here is now gone, and now we've got this buttress section ending with a little window at the top. I haven't done a huge amount to the modules really, this is kind of where we finished previously. I've added these flags as another set of base stoppers. They just attach, and obviously I've got 4 of those, so I'll likely use the stickers from the new Hogwarts Great Hall to do those. Down here in Herbology, just added a couple of bits of greenery to cover up the bases and help them stop sliding out on their own. Really not a huge amount of changed. Put a few doors in different places, but the main new addition is this new test wall that goes up a couple of units to support a new superstructure for Astronomy Tower. On the outside we've got that sort of side turret and it goes all the way up, and I've made that double-sided so it looks complete. Just got this little roof sitting here because I think I might even add a bit more extra detail on the outside just to break up this large plain wall. It's quite monumental. Back at the front I've used the much larger oculus than I had previously with the 2 small windows above, so it looks like it does on screen. It's quite open at the back, but that's going to be all filled in with a big panel just to close it all off and make it separate from the rest of the build. Still going to be able to see plenty because, as I say, we've got this big round window. We've even got these smaller windows at the side in the turret. You can look in and see any details that I choose to put in there. Down below obviously will be astronomy, and that's where Ravenclaw will go. That's the top of divination, hence no door. And that's where the bottom of divination will go. And then we're back down to our window seat, which is kind of where we were last time. So the reason it's this deep, what am I actually attempting to achieve? Well, obviously these modules can slide all the way back, and they don't just go 1 deep. I can stick a second one in, and this is going to be where I'm going to be storing a lot of alternate builds to fill each space. So ultimately every module will have a little back wall on it, just like Potions does here. So the actual viewing size of my new Hogwarts will be no deeper than it was previously. Obviously those modules all behind will just be in storage, and my actual display space will be 8 bricks deep as it's ever been. And my displays don't need to go through much changes because we've got levels directly above and their bricks touch each other. The friction can get quite high, so I've had to cut the corners off the modules and use these little slope bricks, or these sort of rounded corners, just to reduce the friction in the corner of each build, just to help slide things in and out much more easily. And of course, should we choose to change the design, every module is easy to slide out and swap with the one behind or in a completely different part of the castle. My build space at the moment, a bit of a mock graveyard. The astronomy tower has been donating parts, as a Dumbledore's office is generally a bit of a mess. So this buttressed window is the height that we got to in the build previously, but I've actually gone beyond that now and added this hugely buttressed wall. Flares out twice to bring our build place a little out of alignment with what we've got in the general structure, just for a bit of variety, but also for a fairly practical reason. I want to put Dumbledore's office up the top here. It's where it's always lived in my castle, but because of these shelf supports I've only got a few studs distance to put it, so I've tried to bring the area where I'm going to be able to place it into alignment with the space available by adding this buttressed wall. As you can see, it sort of now lines up roughly with the centre of the build space, so hopefully I'll be able to fit Dumbledore's office into this space. I'm a little bit worried about the weight distribution, but once it's plated off to the rest of the modules it should be okay. Looks quite strong. It is at least 2 studs wide in most places. The other option is to put Dumbledore's office in this space, sort of hanging off the side of the build, almost like it does in real life. But of course, we are down to just 1 stud holding the whole thing up, essentially. Could extend the buttressing up on this, and I could even rest it on Gryffindor. Could even build Dumbledore's office right on top of Gryffindor common room. But I'm not really sure how I want to use this space, so again I've ground to a bit of a halt in this area. If you have any ideas, what you think, I can't really show you anything to help you visualise, but if you have an opinion on that, do let me know in the comments. And I really want Astronomy Tower to be the tallest tower without being overshadowed. So it's a little later the same day. I've just been having a crack at working out how I'm going to do staircases. Put together some staircases modules in my little jig I've got for building. Just seeing if my current one can fit in clean, but no, that's going to need some adjustments to make it fit properly. I experimented with some hallways. I quite like this idea. We have a hallway in the front and then a classroom in the back so you can see through. Just give you a little hint of the module behind. Done it again with this one, but I'm not sure about the windows at the side because you can see the colourful brick there on the side wall, which makes me regret not doing it tan a bit further back, maybe into a second module. And then the main thing I'm thinking about right now is, have I made a terrible mistake? This very first module I made had this slide in part, because obviously in the original I had this bookcase built into the side wall and it was snotted in using these brackets, and I put it together and it seemed to do the job. The whole castle didn't collapse. Put a plate on the secondary wall holding it up, and it slots in perfectly so that when I remove Slytherin I can just remove that bookcase. And then up here for Defence Against the Dark Arts, which is a double module, I had this wall. I've added a door to it since you last saw it. It's a bit see-through, but then obviously I'd just use better integrated bricks to build it. But just slots in, and it allows me to take it out and have that double classroom. Doesn't really affect the integrity. I'm pushing down on the build here. It doesn't even flex because I've got those long 1x16s holding up the wall. I'm just wondering if I should have done something like either of these on every level. So I've integrated these doors on some, and some haven't got doors because they're going to be the second floor of a module, like here where divination is going to go. It'd be silly to have a door there. I'm just thinking, have I made a terrible mistake? Am I going to have to tear it back? Maybe replace all of these second modules with tan brick instead of colourful brick, and replace these forward walls to be like this, or I can go all the way back and just have the wall completely removed, or maybe even like Slytherin where only one side of each module can be changed, because I really want Professor Binns to be poking out of the blackboard like he was in his original module. I think that's going to take some rebuilding, so I'm just wondering, am I going to have to tear it all down and pretty much start again? So this is my current dilemma. Do I need to tear it all back? Do I need to rebuild the walls so that they're snotted on and they can be pulled out? Do I need to change the second layer of modules so that they've got all tan walls, so that if I do that corridor idea, I can make the corridors a little more open. We can see right back into the sides rather than just having a doorway in the middle. We can really only see the center of the module, just to allow for a bit more versatility. Did I start to run before I could walk? Always my problem, always rushing off too quickly. But if you have an opinion on this, please do leave a comment down below with your thoughts on what I should be doing. I'm going to be holding fire on the build for a little while, just while I get my head together. I might start putting some modules together, transferring them over from their original parts to their new ones. Let me know what you think about the position of Dumbledore's office. Should I try it on top of that buttress, or should I try and hang it off the side of the build? Do I need to start thinking about learning how to use Technic to integrate it into that backspace, or hover it over Gryffindor common room? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I've done too much too quickly and I'm starting to have regrets. Let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on how the build is progressing. And for more Vlogwarts builds, please subscribe to Brickin' It. Bye bye.